This episode of FineScale Modeler's New Product Rundown features Zvezda's Panzer IV, Airfix's Victor, ICM's König, Takom's V-2 and trailer, Horizon's Mercury-Redstone, and Italeri's MC205.
Welcome to New Product Rundown. We're like a trip to the hobby store when you could still open a box and find all the parts before you bought it. I'm Aaron Skinner.
And I'm Elizabeth Nash. Our first kit up this time is Zvezda's 1/35 scale Panzer IV.
It's a subject that needs little introduction. German tank of World War II, more than 8,500 built, used on all fronts. You get the picture.
And it's been popular as a model. By some measures, there have been more than 130 kits of this tank in 1/35 scale.
Zvezda's all-new kit represents the Ausf H version.
Sharp rivets, bolts, brackets, plates, and hatches grace the lower hull. The central belly panel is separate.
There are casting numbers and nicely molded springs on the bogies. The road wheels feature molded sidewall placards, and the kit has later all-steel return rollers. Earlier rubber-rimmed rollers indicate other versions are probably forthcoming.
Sharply molded two-part drive sprockets and Lincoln-length tracks round out the running gear. The top run includes sag.
The remainder of the hull includes the upper plate with molded hinges, fasteners, and open hatches, glasses, rear plate, side panels, and the driver's plate.
The fenders are molded together with support stretching across the body. They have nice tread plate texture topside, tiny springs on the rear flaps, and brackets and braces molded underneath, albeit with a few ejector pin marks. The braces for the skirts are there too.
The engine hatches incorporate open louvers with separate internal covers. There's detail inside the crew hatches and optional splash guards for the drivers and radio operators hatches.
There's a ton of beautifully molded tools with minimal attachment points. And the one-piece plastic tow cable looks particularly effective.
The turret is a highlight with crisply molded bolts and screws and separate hatches.
The front plate mates with the mantlet and one-piece barrel. 3 styles of muzzle brake are included.
Inside, in addition to the breech of the gun, there's a good amount of interior detail, including the gun controls and supports.
Seats for the crew that mount on the turret lower plate and the bottom of the lower part of the basket.
The hatches on the sides can be posed open. The commander's cupola can be modeled with the vision blocks open or closed.
Clear parts are provided for those blocks as well as the driver's position.
The kit features a full set of Scherzen for the hull and turret with Zimmerit molded on. The parts include optional open and closed gaps for the hatches. Oddly, these are the only parts with Zimmerit, although the box art shows it on the hull.
Decals and diagrams provide markings for 2 tanks, one on the eastern front in winter whitewash, the other in 3-color at Normandy.
Good detail and molding should make Zvezda's Panzer IV a fun build.
Next, we have one of Airfix's 1/72nd scale behemoths, a Handley Page Victor.
Developed in the 1950s as part of the UK's nuclear deterrent program, the 4-engine jet could carry up to 3,500 pounds of conventional bombs or a single atomic weapon.
The 86 built were a part of the Royal Air Force's famed V-bomber fleet, which also included the Valiant and the Vulcan.
Recessed panel lines with hinges, rivets, and fasteners mark the Victor's distinctive fuselage.
The well-appointed crew compartment includes 2 pilot and 4 other crew seats.
The rest includes a floor, instrument panel, and the rear compartment equipment.
The bomb bay comprises a molded structure inside the fuselage, forward and rear bulkheads, the roof, and the fairing for the blue steel missile. Optional standard doors imply other versions are to come.
The Victor's complex intakes have proven difficult to reproduce in the past, but Airfix's multi-part solution looks good. The upper section of the trunks are joined by 2 heavy spars that span the fuselage. Splitters and vanes detail the openings.
The intakes end with nicely molded fans. The jet pipes are split in half and end with 1-part exhaust nozzles. Inside, terrific fairings.
The unique speed brakes can be posed open or closed. Plenty of detail is included.
The Victor's big wing includes a 1-part upper center and separate outer sections. A heavy-duty spar joins the sections, and the flaps can be posed down.
Interestingly, the wingtips are molded in clear plastic, so it should be easy to model the navigation lights. The long sloped windshield and other windows look great.
Other highlights are sharply molded elevators on the upswept horizontal stabilizers, detailed gear bays, landing gear legs, and wheels.
Cartograph decals provide markings for 2 Cold War B Mark IIs, one in overall white, the other with camouflage top sides and white underneath.
Plenty of us, including Aaron, have been hankering for a new detailed Victor, and Airfix seems to have delivered.
Yeah, anybody want to buy a Matchbox kit? Anybody? Anybody?
Bueller? Third this time is ICM's 1/700 scale kit of the German World War I battleship, König.
Launched in 1913, commissioned in 1914, and armed with 10 12-inch guns, König served in the North Sea and Baltic throughout World War I. It was one of 99 German ships at the Battle of Jutland.
Its short career ended when the vessel, along with 24 others, was scuttled at Scapa Flow.
ICM has previously released a 1/350th scale König. This one can be built either waterline or full hull.
The deck sections show molded planks, bollards, and other fittings.
The hull sides feature round portholes and open hawse pipes. The detail on the superstructure sections, funnels, and decks looks good, and the masts are super thin.
The 5 main turrets and the many smaller ones look sharp, as do the mini guns. All of the boats show internal detail.
Stickers label the sturdy stand,
And decals supply identification circles for 2 of the turrets as well as flags.
This looks like a straightforward kit and will make it easy to add this important ship to your small-scale fleet.
This big box contains Takom's 1/35th scale V-2.
But you get more than just the rocket. The kit also includes the Mealer wagon used to transport it to the firing stand and fuel it.
You also get the Hanomag SS-100 prime mover used to tow it.
Starting with the weapon, you get a 4-section body marked with rivets and panel lines.
The simple missile is finished with the motor, vents, and fins.
A launching pad with blast deflector and supports finishes that part of the build. The tanks and platforms are part of the Mealer wagon.
The bulk of the trailer comprises long frames that become the gantry when the missile is raised into position. There's detail on both sides of those.
Tubular frames carry the gantry and support the tanks.
Detail on small parts like hoses, supports, frames, and handles is first rate.
The parts include the outrigger supports for the gantry. The wheels are wrapped in vinyl tires with nice tread.
Photo-etched brass provides retaining straps for the missile, brackets for the trailer, and more. Chain is used to replicate guardrails on the gantry's platforms.
Decals supply stencils for the missile.
The Hanomag SS-100, also available as a separate kit, includes a detailed engine.
Underneath is a chassis with exhaust, springs and 2-part wheels that are fitted with vinyl tires.
The cab includes a floor, roof, and walls, separate doors, and a bench seat, dashboard, and controls.
A clear sprue glazes the windows and provides light lenses.
Decals and color diagrams provide instrument dials as well as number plates for 4 vehicles.
Put together, this will make an impressive display.
And large, too. The trailer, missile, and Hanomag will be more than 18 inches nose to tail height.
FineScale modeler, too hot for TV.
Need antenna wire for an aircraft? Of course you do. We're gonna do the sprue. It's just like this. Yeah!
As way of a segue, Wernher von Braun, mastermind of the V-2, helped America get into space. The initial launch vehicle for that program was the Mercury-Redstone, kitted here in 1/72nd scale by Horizon Models.
Based on the Redstone ballistic missile, this rocket helped put America's first astronauts into space.
Horizon's previous releases include Redstone's successor, the Atlas, and the Mercury spacecraft itself.
The latter, which we've looked at in detail before, is included here with options to build a boilerplate unmanned capsule, the initial manned version with portholes, and the later with a single window.
It includes photo etch for many of the external fixtures and equipment, including the escape tower wiring.
New here are 2 identical sprues with parts for the Redstone, including a 2-section airframe and fins.
There is almost as many parts in the included launch stand as the rocket.
Photo-etched brass details the vehicle and stand.
Decals provide markings for every Mercury-Redstone launch, including Alan Shepard's Freedom 7, Gus Grissom's Liberty 7, several unmanned missions, and even Ham the Chimp's flight in January 1961.
The sheet includes the stripes around the upper section.
It's great to see Horizon continue to build on its initial Mercury release.
Finally, let's take a quick look at Italeri's 1/48th scale Macchi MC-205 Veltro.
This was one of the last Italian-built fighters of World War II. Powered by a Daimler-Benz DB605, it was fast and maneuverable.
It equipped Italian squadrons even after the armistice when it was flown by both sides.
The kit plastic is Hasegawa's very nice Veltro with fine recessed surface details, good cockpit, landing gear, and details, as well as crisp clear parts.
In addition to the options for 6 Italian fighters from the Regia Aeronautica, Aeronautica Nazionale Repubblicana, and Italian co-belligerent air forces, the kit provides a solution for one of the biggest challenges in building Italian fighters.
It's a sheet of well-printed smoke ring camouflage splotches. A page in the instructions gives a suggestion of placement, but they can be used to match many schemes.
Very nice. Look for reviews of the Panzer IV, König, Mercury-Redstone, and Victor in upcoming issues of FineScale Modeler magazine.
And you can see more new products in the May issue on sale now.
Thanks for visiting FineScale.com. I'm Elizabeth Nash.
And I've seen the trailer for Last Jedi more than she has. Welcome to New Product Rundown, the show where we,
Do something. Something great.
The tank,
Okay. FineScale. None of that worked. None of that worked.
You were all. All I can hear is this little sniggering giggle over here.
With you, not at you, so far. Some measures over 130 kits of this tank. What the?
Welcome to New Product Rundown.
No.
Okay.
We are recording.
The Bombay comprises pie. And decal supply.
Excuse me.
Is he gonna explode? Detail on small parts like hoses, supports, frames. Oh my God!
Sorry.
White flag. White flag.